Welcome to From the Ashes, the Dungeon Crawler Network podcast all about Ashes of Creation by Intrepid Studios. Bear witness to the rebirth of the MMORPG genre from the ashes of an industry that has left the gamers behind. I'm Aggelos, founder of the Dungeon Crawler Network, and we are coming to you live from the Mighty Beard Tavern. And I am joined by my amazing co-host. You got Storms Lord. How are you, sir?
Doing awesome.
Excellent. We got Alpha Soul.
Doing great, man. Doing great.
And, of course, the one, the only Crojack.
I'm doing good, but I was scared there for a second because Alpha Soul was muted right up until you talked to him. I thought he was going to do the common mistake that we do every week.
Ooh. And see, normally it's
Normally
Storms.
it's me. Yeah.
I don't see
I
now.
almost faked it.
See, now I don't know what to do with the show anymore because that's kind of what we're used to doing right off the bat. And with no audio issues, I just don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, we got a fun show planned for you guys this week. We got some amazing news coming out of Intrepid Studios as we have a new community marketing lead, which we're going to get into. We also have a little bit of discussion about some of the new website stuff, some PSA things for people who may or may not be content creators and are trying to get people from around the world or your friends or people you pretend to be your friends and try to get them to sign up. There's some details you need to know. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Ashes of Creation Apocalypse open beta, the delay, as well as the current testing. So it's going to be fun. And if we have time, we have a few mailbag stuff to get into. So I think this will be a fun show for sure. Before we do that, of course, I got to thank all my amazing people who support us each and every month over at patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network, as well as our new Twitch subscribers who actually help us here as well at twitch.tv/Dungeon Crawler Network. There's actually a handful who signed up right away at the beginning of the show. It's pretty amazing. So thank you so much for that. You guys are amazing. You help us keep the metaphorical torches lit so we can keep doing this show each and every week. And we're at like 74 of these things, so it's been a lot. Actually, we're nearing our 2-year anniversary, to be honest. 2 years
nice.
of
What's the exact date?
May 3rd, actually. So we have a few more months to go.
Okay.
Yeah, May 3rd will be 2 years of running this show.
All right.
2 years. Kind of nuts. Absolutely.
With no real content to truly talk about.
I think that's the most impressive part.
Yes. Yep.
Nice. Yes, and also thank you, Bob Doley in chat, for the sub, the gift sub to The Donut. You guys are amazing. And I know you guys are always in chat each and every week, so it's pretty awesome to see you guys. I know I get to interact with you guys pretty much every day when I'm hanging out in Crojack's stream, so it's pretty nice. So thank you guys.
Yeah, they're always there.
They are. All right, guys, let's go ahead and just jump right on into the new. Actually, I forgot. Dear heaven above, I forgot. I have 2 things I need to go over. First, iTunes reviews, because I haven't done those in a while, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that. But for those of you who want to help support the show, another way of doing that is leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes so that people know that we're a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter. iTunes reviews are amazing because they do help us gain a little bit more visibility in that realm, and that's kind of where our main audience is. The Dungeon Crawler Network is on the iTunes, Stitcher, all that fun stuff. And it's actually really weird. iTunes reviews affect pretty much every other platform. Because they all draw, everyone's just lazy. And they're like, well, Apple already did it, so we're just going to use their metrics. So that always helps. But we actually had a new one from Australia. This was placed back in November. I get pretty much the worldwide ones once a month or whatever. But we got an Ashes review. Pretty good podcast. Well, I got a 5-star review, so it's still pretty good. Helps you know more about Ashes. It's good to have something to think about before release. Also glad Crojack is here too.
You flatter me.
It's another plant, I'm telling you. Well, thank you, Ilya. It's Ilya505 from Australia. Thank you so much for those reviews. That's amazing. So, yeah, you guys are great. Okay, that was one. And the reason why we haven't really been doing the iTunes review is not because we don't want to, but I'm sure it's actually kind of weird. Krojack might be able to tell you a little bit about this too, but it seems to be this weird thing in all types of media where iTunes reviews have been disappearing.
That's interesting.
And on YouTube, viewers and subscribers have been disappearing.
Well, YouTube recently did a purge of spam subscribers.
Yeah. It's actually pretty amazing. I didn't lose that many. I think I lost like 150. That was it.
Yeah, same here. Roughly about that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So that was pretty awesome. But I saw that went down. But it was funny that the two kind of coincided. But iTunes thinks there is an issue. They are working on that. And so if you left a review sometime between, I don't know, the 12th of December or something like that, or pretty much near the beginning of December up until now, I haven't seen your review. So as soon as I see it, I will indeed give you guys credit because that's important to us. So thank you so much. That was really, really helpful. Second thing that I want to touch on before we get into this, just because there has been some issues throughout everywhere, the community and whatnot, I wanted to make sure people are aware that when we do these shows, you know, I wouldn't say at all any of us are white knights for Intrepid or Ash, except for maybe Krojack, because it's Krojack.
Myself. Sorry.
But we all want the game to succeed.
For sure.
We've been doing a podcast for almost 2 years. We're pretty dedicated to this. But, you know, sometimes when we do discussions are boring if we all agree. So a lot of times, at least one of us, more often than not, it's me, will take the role of the devil's advocate during our discussion. So what we're even talking about doesn't necessarily reflect our own views, but it brings a little bit more to the conversation for all of you to enjoy. So what we'll do is we'll go out, we'll look at what the community is saying. We may pick some of that vocal minority on the opposing side and try to bring their argument to the table for the sake of conversation. So please keep that in mind, that a lot of times some of the views that we express here are not necessarily our own, but we are doing that for the sake of conversation and to move discussion forward. All right. Now that that's all out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the news. First off, we finally have a new community marketing lead. All right. And I'm going to try to pronounce her last name. It's Margaret. Is it Krohn?
I would say Krohn.
Krohn. Krohn
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, a little bit of her background. She started off in quality assurance at Sony Online Entertainment. Then she started working in the Free Realms World Design team before moving on to be the community manager of PlanetSide 2 and then EverQuest 2. Finally, she managed all of NCSoft's online video and media content. So she has a very big background in community management, which is a plus. So now she's working here at Intrepid as a community marketing lead. So, okay. I had to just like spray my cat because she was attacking my green screen. Pretty crazy. Anyway.
What I find really cool about her is the NCSoft job where she was doing the media. I mean, there are some big games under her belt then. You've got, I'm going to list it off, Lineage, City of Heroes, Wildstar, Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, Aeon, Master X Master, and Blade and Soul. Those are not small games. That's very encouraging. It seems like she has a bit of a resume under her belt, and that's extremely awesome for Intrepid to have someone like that as the community manager.
Now, let's take that back, though.
Okay.
She is the community marketing lead.
Community marketing lead.
So that is my big question. Yeah, what the heck is a community marketing lead?
All right. I actually did a little bit of research on this, and again, I don't have a copy of Intrepid's, job description, but based on similar stuff, I went on Glassdoor and a bunch of the different career websites, and I started looking up similar titles and whatnot. I do not feel like this person is going to be controlling Discord at all or Reddit, because I see our chat's asking about is they actually a community manager? I don't believe they're a community manager. What they're going to be doing, they are going to be working on, I guess, how do I want to say this? Communication aspects. So as the marketing lead, community marketing lead, their job will be to timely and accurately release information from Intrepid Studios for keep people aware. So they will probably be controlling the Twitter account. They'll probably be controlling the news, like the blog sites and stuff like that. Possibly coordinating interviews with websites and content creators and stuff like that. Their job at this point is more how to deliver the news to the community, not dealing with the community itself.
Yeah, she's not going to be fingers in the dirt, boots on the ground, dealing with the trolls in Discord and Reddit and stuff. That's not her job, I would imagine.
So that makes more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, and that's actually what they need. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely. They need somebody to control the communications, all that, scope it together, not run it, like you said, on the ground.
I don't know if she started yet, but can I say something right now and give props to Intrepid for something? They've been utilizing Twitter the past few days to get news alerts out.
Also, did you notice in the launcher?
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, they added the Twitter feed.
Giving server update information because people are flooding the Discord. Is the server up, the server down? Just look at the damn launcher right there in the tweets. You'll see.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's a great object to put in there. Absolutely.
I mean, frankly, I can tell you right now, I think almost everyone on this podcast absolutely despises the official Discord. It's
not a fun place.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
a fun place.
Don't like to wander there.
And part of, I know, some of their communication problems was they relied so heavily on Discord to give out the information. The problem is no one wanted to be in Discord because of just what it is. So I'm loving the fact that, and they're essentially copy pasting, which isn't really hard to do, but the fact that they're now starting to do it, I have to give props because Twitter's amazing. I have alerts on my phone for game companies and stuff like that. They get sent right to my phone anytime they tweet. I pull up my phone. Oh, servers are going up in 30 minutes. That's amazing to me. It's fantastic. So I definitely have to give props to Intrepid. I'm so glad to see them utilizing things like Twitter, not just Discord, to get news out. That is a big step in communication. So,
it also allows them to deal with people on Discord, or especially specifically Discord, because right now Discord is their only way, or was their only way, to know, are the servers up, are the servers not, is there a stress test, is there a spot test? So you can now remove certain individuals from Discord and still give them the information they need to test the game by informing them on Twitter. It might give them the ability to actually get rid of people more on Discord if they decide to go down that road. I'm not sure if they've decided that or not.
Oh, and Grey Pelt, one of the community moderators, says she hasn't officially started yet. So I
think I read.
No, she has not.
The 7th of January.
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, she posted on it on her account.
That's how we know about it, because she posted it on her own account saying that she's now starting. So that's the plus. But so that actually makes me think if she hasn't officially started, then it's Steven who's controlling the Twitter at this point, doing the the Twitter updates, and thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I really think that this is going to be probably one of the best things that they ever do, because I think the true weakness that Intrepid has right now is that communication to the outside world and managing that, back and forth. As right now, it's chaotic right now, and
there's a lot of misinformation and confusion regarding the Battle Royale. Its purpose moving forward. I mean, originally what it was made for, what it's kind of turned into, where it's going forward. There's a lot of misinformation all over the place. Like, my comment section is a war zone of trying to get the right information into the right eyes and ears. So hopefully someone like her can streamline the message into the proper channels to educate people properly on where they're going moving forward.
Right.
Yeah. Even things like
need that. A lot of companies that size of Intrepid need that ability to work with their customers, and that's us, all right? They need to be able to filter all that and have one voice that is focused just on that. That's their job.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'll definitely be nice when it comes to actually getting information out and to the people, because I will say the use of Discord for everything is absolute. It's terrible. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I get originally why it was done, but I know that was a major form of complaint. Like, I was on some of the Facebook pages, and people were asking, is the server up? And pretty much everyone's response is, just go to the Discord. some people don't like using Discord, and having only one outlet for information, it was a mess, and definitely not.
Now
something
all they have to
that's
do is look at the launcher right there, embedded tweets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they not?
Oh, and
They actually do have a site too, as well, for the server status
Yes,
now.
but not everyone knows about that site just yet.
right. No, yeah, that's kind of hidden, if you will. But even that site's helpful just to get server status. All right, but not so much the nitty gritty details of, hey, a perfect example of this. I was helping people out on Facebook the other day because people were like, I can't log in. It's not loading. I'm getting anti-cheat errors. Well, they might not have been reading their emails, but people are like, it's telling you how to do it. So I was copy pasting Steven's responses from Discord to people on Facebook so they could get into the game.
I'm also very curious how much of a hands-on approach she's going to have with the content creator community and the content creator program. Will she be the liaison between us and Steven? Will she be, besides Steven, both of them talking to us? I'm very curious to know about her role in that regard.
I don't know, especially with the term marketing lead. Like, I get
Content creators are marketing. That's some of the best marketing around, the cheapest marketing around, right?
It's true. It is true.
Is she going to be part of that? Is she going to be involved? I want to know.
I think she'd have to be either way, whether she was the sole voice or not. I would think she has to be involved.
You know what I hope doesn't happen? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to say, I hope what doesn't happen is kind of what has been happening with the dev streams, which is pretty cool. Like, you'll see Steven kind of raw and say, hey, this would be a good idea. And then Jeff will kind of look over at him like, what the hell?
Yep.
You know, and then I hope what doesn't happen is with the same thing with the marketing lead, where she's given certain information and Steven thinks of something, he says something else, and it ends up inadvertently undercutting her because she didn't have the most up-to-date information, because it just came, on the spot, because, Steven is the lead. He's the head honcho, and, he may have another idea.
Here's the other problem. We don't want to muzzle Steven. We love when Steven goes off the rails.
Yeah.
But you're also right, that does cause a problem because not everyone's up to date on the information. So how do you find a happy balance, or is there a balance you can even find with something like that?
There's got to be a balance, but it's tough to find, especially with a new CEO like that. You're going to have to find that balance of how it's going to work. He's got to learn it too as he goes.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, I think Steven will probably be the biggest roadblock for Margaret in general, just because of, like you said, he gets very excited. He puts news out there ahead of time, and we don't want to lose that, but it might be difficult for her to keep up. Anyway, so that's going to be fun. Be sure to welcome her. Trolls, stay away. I've already seen trolls. Yeah. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But,
Discord's not a fun place.
It's not. Anyway, moving on. The new website has been up, and there's been some changes to the referral system. So if you are a content creator or trying to give your content out to your friends, they changed how that works now. And this is just something I wanted to give for a PSA. It's no longer using URL links. It's now using a referral code that you have to give out.
So I'm guessing how it works is the person goes to the website, goes to register, and there's an option to put in the affiliate code during the registration. What this does, from the perspective, is no longer like an affiliate link, like an Amazon affiliate link. It's not like that anymore, where you simply click the link on Amazon, and if you buy after clicking that link, it all works. This is harder to gain referrals as a perspective of a content creator. And there's a slight tweak. I mentioned this in the pre-show. There's a slight tweak I would like to see made. Keep this system. If you don't like the affiliate link system, keep this. That's fine. But the affiliate code is about 30 digits long with 5 hyphens. Instead of that, for example, how Fortnite does it, just pop my head right now, you simply punch in the account name of your favorite content creator and say, so I would type in Crowjack or Dungeon Crawler Network or whatever, as opposed to having this 30-digit code. A lot more user-friendly.
I agree.
No copy-paste, just punch it in.
I agree. Friend codes are always something that... I mean, the affiliate links were very nice. From a content creator, I'm sure all of us who've done this in the past, like I've had the Amazon affiliate links. I've had Elder Scrolls Online affiliate links. Despite the fact that it wasn't a public thing, you were given those things as a way of being able to get a kickback, for, doing free marketing for their game. But this makes, like you said, makes it very, very difficult. It is difficult to use. The one benefit is that there's far less URL spam everywhere.
Yes, the ability to go to Facebook, target your ads on MMO fans and MMO gamers, and give them an image that says, hey, check out this free game, click this link. You could rack up referrals like crazy before it if you wanted to do that strategy.
And, I mean, it was definitely something. I've seen it a bunch. I get it constantly on my YouTube. I'm sure probably Crojack does too, where people are like, hey, go check out they're posting their referral links in your comments.
I automatically block all comments with links in them. All of them.
So
instantly
do I.
block.
Well, I don't block them. I put them in review because some people actually legitly put good stuff, links and to support their arguments and whatnot. But yeah, no, it automatically goes into a queue. But now that's actually been kind of going down over the past few months. It was really rampant at the beginning. Like way when it came out, you couldn't go anywhere without having an affiliate link thrown at you.
Yep.
So I don't know. I feel like there should probably be a little bit of a middle ground between the two, like what you said, Crojack, something along those lines. Definitely don't get rid of this because I just spent all day updating all of my links. I don't want to have to do it again. But maybe adding an additional feature would be helpful. Yeah, there's no way in creation I'm going back and doing it again.
Yeah, go with this to slow down the referrals, to slow down the rampant use of it, but definitely make it a bit more user-friendly as opposed to this crazy number string.
Yeah, like I do like the number string, but even it's like what Crojack said, if you could just, well, again, that sort of goes back to another issue of, and if there was a way that you could add a friendly name, but like for me, if someone wanted to go for me, it wouldn't be Dungeon Crawl Network, it would be Aggelos. But some people have affiliate names that are just way crazy. You know,
That's their fault.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I'm assuming your account name is Crojack. I would just assume, but you know, there's some other people in this podcast who made.
Yeah, man, this sucks. Man, it is so bothering me, man, because I even tried to get this fixed when I started regularly posting. I was like, well, I didn't realize that this is my forum name as well. Now it's my in-game name as well too, and it means nothing. It's Draktalk basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a real big annoyance.
You sound an awful lot like my co-host over on our Tales of Tamriel show, Lotus of Doom. His full name is Lotus of Doom, but Twitch, for whatever reason, it was taken, so it's Lotus OD. But the problem is, he's like, it annoys me because everything else is Lotus of Doom, and yet Twitch is something different.
Yeah. It's like, I really wanted to build my name in this. I really hope they change it because I really wanted to build my name in this period as somebody who plays one-on-ones and is constantly up there. Now this guy, random guy Draktalk, is up there and he'll be forgotten. And man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, enough ranting.
Yeah, I hear you. And actually, you know, what's really funny is I just so happened to look at the podcast description for this as it goes out, and I realized that I had Draktalk as where do people to find you? So,
oh yeah, well no, that's for my fragrance channel. Completely understandable.
Yeah, oh no, I mean your Twitter too. So that's the problem.
Oh,
I have similar problems where fans quickly grab my name for specific things. Instagram, where I can't have my name in Instagram because there's a fan account with 2 pictures that hasn't touched it in 3 years. And I keep DMing them. I'm like, yo, dude, please delete this account. Let me have my name. Nope, nothing.
Yeah. I know that the problem with names, I know it's kind of a little tangent rant, but it's true. But when you are a streamer or a personality or an influencer, people will go for your names.
Oh, yeah.
Just to troll you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you built a brand around your name, yeah, that's sort of always an issue. Now, the one nice thing that is pretty cool, and a lot of especially as we start moving into the more, you know, the Twitch, the YouTube, the influencer era, if someone legitly gets your name, most game companies will change their name. Because if you've already had an established brand, they know if I go in as Aggelos, and I'm not saying I'm a super established brand or anything, but let's just say I am, or a Ninja, there you go, or Shroud or something like that, and I take that name, and then Shroud comes, hey, I can't make an account. My name was taken. They'll change the other person because they realize you are that, that branded name.
Yep, Instagram does that. All sorts of people do that. But you need to have a certain level of clout, right? You need a certain level of respectability and success before you can approach these companies or have your manager, for the fancy people, approach these companies and go, yo, by the way, get us the name, please. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Yeah, definitely. All right, so that was it for the website news. I gotta say, I do like the new website design to an extent.
So far so good.
There's some things I liked a little bit more. I feel like they got rid of a lot of the pictures and media and stuff like that, and now it's all sort of hidden away.
It feels unfinished. It feels like they're not done with it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're probably not, but it would be nice if they could expand that out a little bit more. I enjoyed looking at their past information, so now it'd be nice to get that back as well. All right, moving on to our last topic of the night. This one may be a little while. Okay. I'm sure all of you know it is the 20th, and what is not out yet?
Out fully? Yes.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Yeah. Remember?
Oh, also Atlas. Oh, wrong.
Oh, that's
that's
true.
right.
Wrong game.
That. Oh my god.
Atlas.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Remember when the teaser video first dropped? They finally gave us the official 18th date. And the following podcast, we talked about it's kind of nice to have that date because light the fire under their butts. Well, even with that fire, they weren't able to get the job done on time. Here we are.
And I mean, Storms and I, we do development. We do.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I actually have a project coming due that at the beginning of the year I'm like, yeah, we can get this done by the end of the year. Guess what? 31st is coming up, and we're nowhere near finishing that project.
Yeah.
Delays and it was because I'm relying on a vendor. I'll give a little backstory here. We had to upgrade an old server that we now have powered off because it had vulnerabilities, so we just powered the whole thing off. We were like, oh yeah, we can get that updated so people can use it. Well, guess what? The vendor who wants to do it's like, yeah, we have to get the software engineer to do it for you. Okay, well, let's get him. He's not available till June 2019. I'm like, are you serious? So we just powered the whole server off, and we're like, anyone needs access to this server, guess what? You are walking into the computer room and you're using the terminal because that thing is not being connected to the network. So, yeah. And then until we can get that updated. But, in development and IT, things change. Like, bugs happen.
Bugs happen, and that's true.
And they multiply.
And they do multiply. But you should have how do I say that? I mean, so I'm not being overly critical, I don't believe. I think they've done very well. I think they've covered a lot of things. They came close. But I think there's a couple of things that they didn't get right? Guessing, because I'm not involved there. But their build and their move teams, I don't think are as experienced as their gamer team, their developer team. It seems like you can quickly squash these bugs, which is great. But you also have to have the ability to roll them to different environments for testing and roll them forward. If you don't have an experienced team on how they're going to do it with that type of network, you're going to have some unknowns you can't handle until you get there. And that's what we seem to run into.
Are you referring to the type of technology they're using? And this is something, again, From the Ashes always strives to deliver you guys with the most up-to-date and accurate information to the best of our ability. Krojack and I had this discussion earlier. We were talking about Amazon Web Services, AWS platform, and I said, no, I think they're using Microsoft Azure, which I think they are. And actually, if you download, I think it goes to Azure. They're both cloud services. And actually, Microsoft Azure, I think, came out first, but it's really prevalent in the business sector, not so much the gaming sector. At least I've not heard that. I don't know if they have anyone who's an Azure expert.
That's what you would need, right? You would need somebody who's an expert in how to move their environments. You'd also need somebody to know that if we have this in dev and it goes into QA and then it will call it prod for beta, right? You're going to need to know what those steps are. If they're not exactly the same, which usually they're not, you're going to run into things that day you do it. And it seems like that day they did it was the 18th.
Gray Pelt in chat says they're using Azure and AWS. Okay, so they're using both. All right, well, let's back that up a little bit. Is that a good idea to use both?
Doesn't matter.
No knowledge here.
Doesn't matter whatsoever.
Well,
they're services.
There are services, but do they have communication with each other?
Doesn't matter. What are you using it for?
Well,
right?
again,
it all depends on what they're using them for. If you're now, here's the problem. If you're using one for dev and one for QA, that's just silly. You'd want to use for different pieces, right? You're gonna want to have maybe run your website or your logins, right? That in one piece and a game in another. That would work. It all depends how you set it up.
You have to separate the two. You can't be using.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
They can talk to each other, but I wouldn't depend on it, right? So you definitely want to have them separated with their technology stacks.
That would be curious, and maybe we should get one of their software engineers on. That'd be fun just to talk to.
I would love to see who they have, where the division sits between the developers, because one of the problems you have in the past with let's say immature processes is you have developers who then try to also move code from environments, but they don't do it all the time, so that's not their expertise. You need to have somebody who moves code all the time. That's their expertise. Then you know these things ahead of time.
Yeah.
Fair. And I mean, AWS and, Azure is a fairly new, and I do say fairly new because what is it, 5 years I think it started coming into the forefront? Not much longer than that. It's a fairly new technology overall in the in both gaming, very new in gaming, but it's still even new in the application business side of things as well. So I mean, there's not a lot of experts out there, and I'm sure there is a lot of growing pains as they're trying to expand across these platforms. I'm seeing people in chat talking about bringing Bob on the podcast. What do you think about that, Jack?
My buddy Bob Doyley is a computer software engineer for Google who previously worked at Research in Motion. So he probably would have some level of expertise with some of this stuff. So it'd be very fascinating.
Awesome.
Indeed, it probably would. Now, if only I could get that stupid call-in feature to work, because that'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome. Have Bob call in.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Nice. Yeah, no, I don't know about having both, though. I really feel like that's a cost I think you should just probably drop into one. Maybe they started with Azure and are transitioning to AWS because Azure is mostly business oriented, so maybe they don't have the same.
It all depends, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
One thing I'd like to discuss, and I was definitely worried about this as the days ticked forward, was launching the website and the game at the same time. I was talking to people during live streams. I'm like, I'm hoping they get the website figured out and the accounts and the synchronization figured out before they go to launch the game, because that's pretty integral. You can't record the experience. You can't record the rewards without having that all done. But as we got to the last day and the website wasn't up yet, I was terrified. I'm like, this is not going to go well at all.
Yeah, that should have been a staggered rollout.
Yeah. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but then when you're thinking about it, I think that if we were to analyze this delay, the website was definitely a big problem. The website's still a problem because the migration still isn't finished yet.
That should have been done day -2, right? That plan should have been there, but I don't think you have a separate team to do that.
Right.
So if you're got to split your time between different things, what's your priority? Well, you may not think about it, but an ETL job to do that transformation, that's a priority. You just don't know it until you get there, unless you've been there, done that over and over, like I have.
Right. No, I've only done a website migration twice in my life, and it wasn't a fun time either time I had to do it. Migrating all that data. I know there's still people, I'll say, concerned. I won't say the word complain, even though I just said it, that there's still stuff missing from their account, purchases aren't still there because the migration is taking a long time. How many registered accounts did they have? What was the last number?
It was something insanely high.
It was 200,000 or 300,000 people.
Yeah.
So
but that's not that much, to be honest. You just got to know how to move that much data.
Right.
And you just don't have. A lot of companies have the same problem. They try to put the people who can develop and do all that stuff in charge of all this other stuff, and they need a team who's done that. that's all they do they do their work for somebody else. They just do that piece. They'll understand if you're going to move that much data, it takes time.
Chat, 700,000 registered accounts on the old site. It's still, I mean, yeah, half of those accounts might have been simple, but migrating off over all of the purchase data and things of that nature. Referral information, which I know, again, I spoke to Crojack about. I'm still missing tons.
I saw something about from Steven on the Discord regarding that.
I don't think we can talk about that.
We got to get this Bob the Lily guy on. I love that. I forgot how to count that low.
That's my boy.
Nice. Yeah. Man, I'm the NDA police at this point. Dear heaven above.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for. No, but it's true. I know they have a reason for that, but the idea is there's still migration going, because I can try to sign into the website now, and every once in a while I still get like 502 gateway errors and things of that nature because it crashes. So.
They still have the data. It's just they got to get it transferred.
Sure.
There's some gaps they didn't think of, and they got to do a gap analysis and then move the stuff over.
Man, we must have a lot of tech people in the chat, because this 700,000 is not a lot for people. Dear heaven.
No, it's not. It's really not.
I know. In the long run of things, it's really not that big. Okay. They've been doing testing over the past couple days. Let's go ahead and kind of move right on into some of the testing experience. I, unfortunately, even though I do a show for this, seem to be too busy to really jump in and do much testing, so I'm not going to have a whole lot to say, sadly. But I know our guild has been, and I know Crojack has, and guys, let's talk about that a little bit. And actually, I want to give a shout out to Alpha Soul. He just released a new video, his top... He rated all the weapons and armor. I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I think that'll be a fun discussion to have, because I sort of disagreed slightly with him.
No, I thought your disagreement was actually very valid. If we were better, if I was better, I think it would easily be swapped. But the fact of the matter is, I can't handle that much power.
No. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm like, oh, this is so much better, but I suck at it, so not for me.
Yep.
We'll get into that. So let's go ahead and talk about our gameplay experiences. Crojack, why don't you go ahead and go? How's it
I managed
been?
to get a few games in. Server connections felt fine. Gameplay felt okay. I was seeing some FPS stuttering. That could just be a server thing. I'm running a GTX 1080 Ti and a Core i7 6700, so my computer should be okay for running this game. But I was encountering some FPS issues. Only when I was getting upwards of like 100 people on the servers was I noticing a bit of stuttering or issues like that. But then again, we're pretty early. They did actually, chat and everyone else listening to the podcast, give us more health potions lying around. We talked about this in the last podcast, the inability to have any out-of-combat healing after fights. And now there's way more healing in the game, so you're no longer terrified of getting into those melee confrontations, coming out of it, healing up, and moving on. It is fantastic and much needed.
Yeah, definitely. I know I think even going back to Alpha Soul's video, we'll mention that the Lifebringer was the big weapon of choice just due to the fact that there was so limited health potions around. You never knew what you had or what you didn't. Now, with the increasing health potions, that's not so much of an issue. Alpha, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I really like the changes that they made to the balance of the amount of items, like Crojack was talking about, because you don't need to, it doesn't tether you to a certain strategy, because you know that, like, one of the big problems with the Battle Royale was if you lost too much health in too many engagements, like if you lost a good chunk of your health, you wouldn't be able to get it back because there were no potions to restore it, meaning once you got to the end level, if you didn't have full HP, you're going to die, basically, and sheerly because you don't have that that back end. But now with the change, it encourages you to be more, more aggressive. It encourages you to go out there, to go after people, because you can always heal up afterwards now. It's really good, but they keep making a lot of balance changes to the game, and you kind of don't know where they're going to be in a month from now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the meteor spell being nerfed in damage. It no longer does 50 damage per shot. It sometimes does 20 or 30 damage per shot.
Mm-hmm.
So they still are tweaking the numbers.
Man, that's the only range weapon I enjoyed. Dear.
Yeah, no, that the balances are good. I like what they've balanced. I've was able to survive a couple hits and still then get on top. Right. So for me, it worked out really well. The balances they've made that works with my play style.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. No, and I mean, I'm more of a melee character, so yeah. No, I like that there's more health potions because now I don't feel penalized for being, you know.
There was a handful of games. I'm like, okay, great. I've got all this healing, so I'm gonna hold on to a couple smalls, a couple larges, a backup piece of armor, and I died during a fight before I even had an opportunity to use any of it. So, yeah, I felt bad.
Yeah. Man, but some of the items and the way that you can combo them is really nasty. Like that bone smash. If you hit somebody with a bone smasher ability and just move away, get some space, throw on your night bow, or some other weapon, it's so hard to get out of. It's damn near impossible to counter that move. It's just, oh man, love it.
That's my problem when I play this game. When I close in for melee, it feels to me like it's life or death. I die or he dies. I don't think of any of those more advanced, out-of-the-box thinking type tactics like you mentioned, hitting them with the dot, getting back out into rage combat, preventing... I need to start thinking like that in the Battle Royale, as opposed to just charge in, kill it, or die.
Even with like if you swing a couple times, I've noticed if you happen to miss like once or twice, just immediately back out.
Yes.
You're out of stamina at that point.
It needs stamina so fast.
Stamina management is pretty much everything in this game.
Oh, yeah.
It's so integral. It's so important. People need to realize, don't jump. Everyone listening to this podcast right now, stop jumping in combat.
Yes, don't jump. It takes stamina.
15 stamina and will prevent you from regenerating more. Once you stop jumping and attacking, your stamina will regen super quick in 2 to 3 seconds. Stop jumping.
But you're going to stop. Absolutely.
Stop jumping.
So you're not jumping like a little rabbit all the time.
Because in other shooters or Fortnite or other battle royales, jumping around, it makes you harder to shoot at, it makes you harder to target. In this game, it will get you killed. So if you have that latent pre-programming muscle memory to hit that spacebar like crazy, you're gonna lose. Stop jumping.
Man, no, I don't think I want to tell people that. I just keep jumping. Just
Keep jumping.
Oh, Spirit Pierce. Has anyone had a chance to play with the Spirit Pierce?
Yes, I have.
It's got a fairly long range on it, and it has a stamina drain effect, leaving your opponent unable to attack. Because if they swing once with a two-hander, that's 30 stam. If you hit them with the ability, I don't know the exact amount of drain. All I know is they get 1, maybe 2 swings, and they're out of stamina.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like 10 or 15 stamina that it drains off per hit. And you can really lock people down with that thing.
Yeah, if you smack them twice, they're going to get maybe 2 swings with their polearm before they're out of stamina. Yeah. And then they can't dodge roll, they can't escape, they can't lunge out of there. Oh, yeah. Yep. It's fascinating.
Yeah, this just reminds me going all the way back to Elder Scrolls Online playing a stamina character. It's all about stamina management.
It's all about both, right?
Resource management.
Yeah.
It's all about resource management. Absolutely.
Yeah. Even in MMORPGs, what's your mana, what's your rage, what's your energy, what's your stamina, depends on your character, your game.
Yeah, but doesn't it feel sort of punishing to be a melee character versus a range character where you're not using stamina for anything except for power shots?
Yep.
Yeah,
you got to qualify. You can't win just as a range either. You have to be able to do both.
Unless you can click heads like no one else.
Well,
unless your mechanical skills are top notch.
Exactly. If you can get headshots, you're good. But well, as of yet, I can't get headshots. But we're working on it. It's
hard.
I'm working on that.
You guys notice that in this battle royale, the left-right movement is very jerky and quick. It is so hard to land shots. People are able to juke real quick in this game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Pretty much the only times I'm hitting headshots, and I'll be the first to admit I am not
a meteor smacks the head.
Yeah, that. Yeah, when I was streaming that, people were watching. I was awesome with that meteor just because I could just watch where people were going and plant it right in front of their face.
Yeah,
it was great. I hit quite a few people. Alpha's chasing people down, and I'm hitting them with meteors running right into it. No, the only way I'm hitting headshots is if they're opening a chest.
Yeah.
Or
even then you miss the first one.
Maybe. First is being very generous to me, Crojack. It's like 3 or 4, and I'm like, I'm so glad they're taking forever. All right, let's do this again. Yeah, no, I'll be the first to admit I am not good with the range. That's why I was so glad they buffed melee, because I just suck at it.
Melee is a lot smoother now.
Yeah,
They really improved that the last 3 weeks.
And visually it looks better. Like I'm starting to be able to recognize the sound effect that lets me know I hit the person or not. It's starting to become second nature with a bit more practice. So it's nice.
Oh yeah,
definitely. All right, let's talk a little bit about the armor and stuff like that. I know they made some changes in weapons. So Alpha, I don't want people to watch your stuff, so we're not going to go through everything. But I'm curious as to why you placed what we were talking about, the Longbow of Miasma.
Yeah, I have that as the second best ranged weapon, and the Nightfall as the first. Right. So a couple of days ago, I actually was of the opposite opinion. I thought that the Longbow of Miasma was better, and the Nightbow was second best. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's a difference between the two bows. The Nightfall bow, and Crojack actually explained this really good. The Nightfall bow is a hit scan, meaning if you mouse over and you simply click on it, it'll register the hit no matter what they do. Whereas the Longbow of Miasma has a projectile component. Now, I still haven't actually been able to figure out, kind of what
how long it takes.
Yeah, how long it actually takes to register or to hit, and how much you have to actually lead and all that good stuff. Anyways, but the Longbow of Miasma is the hardest hitting weapon in the game, and I think
you can one shot.
Yes, you can easily one shot people, and I've seen damage, I think like 260 or something like that with that. And just for reference for you people, 200 is the maximum that you can get, with 100 with armor and 100 with health. So it more than kills you. And that's
if you're wearing all legendary pieces of armor.
Yes, and that's what they're all legendary.
Pieces. That's not always the easiest.
Exactly. So the reason why I put the Nightfall bow up is because I find myself more able to use it for the style of combat that I do, right? So, for example, I just described, I will hit people with a hemorrhage, with the mace, and quickly dash out, roll out, turn around, throw on my bow. By this point, they either realize that they're taking a lot of damage, or they don't. And if they don't, then they're almost dead, and just one more shot will kill them. But if they do stop, I quickly shoot them with it, and it'll take it out. And it's easier than to do that than with the longbow, which has a longer kind of cock back and shoot, if you will. So in general, like if I was better at the whole leading with shots, specifically with the longbow, I would probably go for it, but I'm not.
I see someone in chat.
Simply not. Yeah.
There's some heavy breathing going on from somebody.
I wonder if it's breathing or if it's my wife opening this package over here.
No, that sounds.
I think it's breathing. I think it's breathing. I don't hear anything from your wife, so.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So if you're breathing heavily and don't have anything to say, just lean back a little bit.
Yeah.
Lean back.
Lean back. Or work on cardio so you don't have such heavy breathing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of the two.
So, but yeah, that's in a nutshell. It's easier to use. It does a respectable amount of damage, and you can more easily combo it with other things that are there.
And one thing you said right in the beginning of this was, in this particular environment, in this particular game, we talked about the ability for characters to shift left and right, juke left and right pretty quickly and pretty far. That makes it very hard to land a shot with a projectile longbow, especially when that longbow takes so long to knock an arrow, get to full draw, and finally release. If you miss your shot, that's super punishing. In that time, you can get 3 or 4 Bow of Miasma shots in there. Right? You have a clip of what? How many arrows in a clip of Nightfall? I think 10 arrows?
10. Yeah.
So before you even need to reload, you have 10 shots there. And then that's not even taking into account dodge rolls, two-handed weapon lunging across the map, catfall boots, hitting with that longbow in this environment with this movement capability.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Oh, that's the other thing, the catfall boots. If you dare use the catfall boots against somebody who has a Nightfall bow, they're just going to snipe you like crazy, basically.
With half decent aim, because you float so gently.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You just so gently flutter down to the ground, touch down. It's great.
Yeah.
I discussed with you. I commented on your video about. Yeah. No, I didn't really agree. Only for the fact that if you are a skilled player, okay. you can wreck face with that longbow of miasma. I'm not. So it doesn't really benefit me that much. But I will say there have been times like I've killed people pretty quick. People have been chasing me in a building, so I'll run up the stairs, turn around, and charge the longbow.
Yeah.
So as soon as they come around,
hard to miss at that point.
Yeah, you can't miss at that point. It's like 80 damage, even if you just hit them dead in the chest. Oh yeah, it's pretty sick. Last thing I wanted to mention, again, check out the Alpha Soul, his YouTube channel for that video. It was actually really good and entertaining. I hate the ice boots. Why did you rank them so high?
The ice boots. I think I put them at. Wait, did I put them at 3?
Yeah, I think they were mid, but you put them above the arcane power.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, I put them above the arcane power boots. And it's funny, I actually switched those two around. The reason why I put the ice boots higher is, I think my initial tend to use them basically was to escape. Right? You pop them. If somebody's chasing you, they slow down, and that was my only thought process for using it. But then I actually started using it with weapons. For example, I used it with the Greatsword of Haste. Right? I was running circles around them like it was nobody's business. They could not touch me. They tried to lunge. They tried to kind of run after me. And I was just speeding everywhere with ice all over the place and just hitting them as if I was like a jouster. So I really think the combo that you can do with that is really nice. And if it's better if you use it offensively, even as you're in close for melee range and you come around, you hit them, you kind of move around. As soon as they kind of step on that ice, they're a lot slower, and it's a lot easier to score a hit on them, and it's that much harder for them to hit you. So I think if you use it offensively, it's a lot better than if you use it defensively.
As opposed to the arcane boots, which is a knockback, and unless you're ranged focus, you don't want people to get away from you. You want to engage them in melee.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So they can be ranged very equally. So it depends on your playstyle. If you want to get in close, like you mentioned with that greatsword, for example, maybe the ice ones are much better. I still think, regardless, you want Blink or Catfall. That's pretty simple.
Oh yeah, those are the two highest ones.
I love Blink.
Yeah.
I'm finding myself enjoying Blink a lot more. Like, I was ranging some guy down, they got close to me, blinked around, 180, finished him off at range. Like, it's very useful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think I personally prefer Blink over Catfall because I don't like being in ranged. I like being melee, so I use it to get to people.
I will go without a Catfall boots for 9/10 of the game, but in that final ring, it's Catfall or bust. It's
I will say
Catfall
this.
or bust.
Aggelos, try the Catfall boots and don't use them to jump. Just turn it on, especially when you're doing things like going into buildings to chase people.
Silent steps.
Silent steps. It turns it on.
Yeah.
You are completely silent. Just sneak up on them, and you have the advantage, basically.
Oh my god! Between that and invisibility, going into a building to hunt something down.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is sweet.
You turn into a rogue.
And actually, I think this is a good thing to discuss because I see Cinnamon chat. I don't think you actually mentioned this one, Paladin's Might, in your video.
Oh crap! I forgot the Paladin's Might.
Barely used it.
You're
I
right.
actually need to, out of stream, play a game or two and just use that thing, get a feel for how it works.
So it's really nice. So the Paladin's Might. Where would I actually put that one? Because that actually means there's 10.
Is it good in a one-on-one melee fight?
It is very good in a one-on-one melee fight. That is really where it shines because now it reduces the damage that you take to like, I think it's like 5 or 10 at a maximum from a swing of like the Bone Masher, right?
Yep.
So the whole thing is to absorb, like a hit or two and then immediately just poke them a couple times.
Let them use their stamina, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then counter.
Exactly. And if you can do that properly and you can, correctly, get them to hit your shield, then you're gonna come out on top pretty easily. I've seen a couple people utilize it really well, and I've done it once or twice. I don't particularly like it though, just because it leaves me with like 60 or 70 HP, even when you do it really well.
But versus an inexperienced player who will blow all their stamina on 3 two-hander swings and be standing there unable to escape.
Yeah, you're gonna rip them up.
One-on-one.
Yeah, you're gonna rip them up.
Interesting. As well as jumping around because they're dumb, because they're new. Don't jump, chat.
Don't jump. Don't
Damn,
jump.
I can't believe I forgot that weapon. Oh man. All right, I gotta add an addendum.
Addendum for that. All right.
Yeah, for the video. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, guys. Well, I think that is going to be the end of our show today. Make sure you stick around if you're in chat because we are going to go right into the post show. So that's a show that we do after the live show. That is for people who are here live, as well as our patrons over at patreon.com/Dungeon Crawler Network. I want to thank all my amazing co-hosts. We got Stormslord, Digital Piper Studios, his own development company. We got Alpha Soul, which is the_Alpha_Soul. He does a lot of videos like the one we were discussing today, and it does a lot of news coverage. And of course, Crowjack. Anywhere you search Crowjack, that's where you can find him. He does streams, videos, everything. Full-time content creator. Check him out. And of course, you can follow me, Aggelos, wherever. It doesn't matter. You can follow everything else we do, though, at DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. You can also check out our Patreon program at patreon.com/DungeonCrawlerNetwork. If you want to help support the show, you can also leave us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we're a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of From the Ashes, and we will see you next time. See you later, everybody.